Love is strength. Forgiveness, grace, and acceptance of reality. Objectifying reality is strength. Weakness is personalizing everything. It is weakness to even perceive an attack, because it is weakness that does not know how to objectify reality outside of the personalized lens. If someone is verbally attacking you, the truth is they're attacking themselves. They're just using you to do it because they think projection is real. And if you internalize that and make it about you, meaning you agree to it, you're personalizing it, you're doing the same thing. You think projection is real. That's why your reaction is to guilt and shame and have anger and conflict, because you think the appropriate response to attack is another attack by way of defensiveness. That is weakness because you're perceiving attack to be true. It takes strength to not perceive attack to be about yourself. The ego is personalizing everything. It has its own beliefs, its own thoughts, its own feelings, and every single perception that pops up from the ego, we agree to and make real. And part of that is the attack and defensiveness dichotomy and dynamic. And so in order to exit that, we have to use strength, which is forgiveness and grace, to bring these feelings of and justifications of anger and guilt to our attention. Is this true? Let me investigate this. Let me raise this to doubt. Because in that space of raising your own convictions to doubt, that is strength. That takes a lot of internal strength to question yourself and to learn how to see things objectively instead of subjectively from the personalized lens. And so when you're in the ego structure and you are so justified and you feel safer in your anger, and you can tell that by your always defensiveness, by judging others, by condemning others, by blaming others, you keep personalizing. You are affected by your reality outside of you. And by being negatively affected by the reality outside of you, you take yourself out of inner peace, which is weakness. It is strength that stays in peace. It is strength that stays in forms of love. Now, we're not born in that situation. That takes many years to cultivate through vigilance and discipline of self-observation and self-awareness to learn in moment to moment how to shift out of when you're upset. So when you are upset, you want to understand, okay, what pattern, psychological pattern is happening? How can I see this differently? I ask my higher self, I am making anger, I am making blame, and I'm personalizing reality, and I'm making that the highest truth. Help me see this differently. People who have never healed do not understand that it is possible. So there are people who will always choose anger and guilt and blame as their safety because they don't know anything else. And if you don't know anything else, then you don't know something else better exists. If you don't know peace, how do you know it exists? How do you know what peace is? If your familiarity is in guilt, shame, and blame and being reactionary and personalizing reality, you don't know it exists. So it's important to ask ourselves questions, raise things to doubt, so we don't limit ourselves in what we think truth is.